Now, does it surprise you that Ovi is still scoring at the rate that he is, well into his 30s, and continuing to produce the points that he is? Like, he's always been an all-world talent, but longevity that he's been able to do it for, there's an outside chance he catches Gretzky at this point for the most goals ever. Like, did you see that seed early on, or did you think that, oh, he'll have a nice career and best of luck to him type thing?
Well, my first full year with him, he got 65 goals
Yeah.
and won the Hart and everything else. And I thought, this guy was amazing. His shot was amazing. His release was amazing, and his hockey IQ was amazing. So I wasn't thinking at that time that he was going to beat Gretzky, but I knew this guy was going to be around for a long time. And he was 21. I mean, he wasn't very good defensively, but his job was to score goals. And the way I handled him was, hey, listen, the good way outweighs the bad. So I'm not going to really harp on him too much to change his game, because there was games he would just win for us. I remember one game in Ottawa, as a matter of fact, the 2 nights before we played in Pittsburgh, he got cut in the thigh for 25 stitches. And there was no way it was this big, the cut, he was going to play. And, but he said, yeah, coach, I play. And I said, okay, Alex, you want to play? You can play. He scored 4 goals and we won the game. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me at all what he's doing, whether he's 35, other than the gray hair. I mean, that's the only thing that gives away how old he is, but he's a mountain of a man. Like, I mean, he's thicker than thick, and he doesn't get hurt, touch wood, that he doesn't. And his shot has not subsided at all. I mean, the only time he had a bad year in my mind is the year he scored 32 goals. And that wasn't, and I don't blame him for that. What I blame is he was finally getting, tons of recognition. Everybody wanted him as either a spokesman or a sponsor, or, whether it was Gillette razor blades or whatever. But the stick company, and I can't remember, he changed sticks and every stick he had broke. And I mean, to the point, seriously, I mean, he couldn't take his shot. It was snapping, and until he got, he was tentative on shooting the puck. And if you remember back in the day, Alex was a guy that led the league by 100 shots on goal every year. And so now he wouldn't shoot the puck. So he was afraid to shoot the puck, and because his stick was breaking. So, I mean, he was really nullified, and he got out of the deal the next year, went back to his sticks, and I think the rest is history. So, I mean, I think he would be a shoe-in to break Gretzky's record if there was no lockouts, and no pandemic, but he's still got to be, I think he's going to need 4 or 5 years at 35 to 40 goals a year to get it, which is quite a job. But, I mean, his shot is so good, and his IQ from the blue line in is so good. If he stays hungry, I think, there's a good chance that he could do it.
Yeah. Now, coaching is a weird profession in the sense that every day you go to work, you have in the back of your mind the knowledge that it's going to end at some point via firing, right? Like, there's not another job on the planet where you go to work knowing that at some point you're going to get relieved of your duties there. When your time ultimately did come up with the Caps, how close did you feel like that team really was to winning a Stanley Cup?
Oh, you know what? I thought we were close every year. Like, I mean, let's, the first year that I coached there, I still, we had the best record in the NHL the last half of the year. So I thought we were there, and we lost in overtime in Game 7 to Philadelphia, who went to the finals that year. The next year we had, we won the conference, and we had a really good team, but we lost in 7 games to Pittsburgh, who won the Stanley Cup. The third year we won the President's Trophy. We were by far the best team in the league, and we ran into a goalie that, was hotter than hot in the last 4 games. And we hadn't lost 3 games in a row all year, and we lost the last 3 games of the playoffs. So we lost to Montreal. So I thought all 3 of those years we could have won the Cup. I mean, the next year after that, we lost in the second round. And, but again, we had a great team. I thought we would be there, but to me, all those young guys were learning how to win as it took long. And I mean, the core of the team stayed together and ended up winning the cup, but they needed time. They needed time to understand what it was like to win. I think one of the things that they all wanted to win, don't get me wrong, but they thought, oh, we're young, we're going to get chances to win again. And when they did win the cup in Washington, you could see the emotion on their face, because I think it was time that Nicky Backstrom and Alex and a couple of the other guys were sitting there going, you know what, time's running out now. We thought this was going to be easy, and it's not. And so we're, they showed it. And the pressure was getting to them too, because Alex never met an exit meeting, because the day after we lost in the playoffs all the time, he was on the next plane to Moscow to play in the World Championships. And when you're a young player, like from Russia or Germany or wherever, it wasn't the NHL that was really pushing you. It was the World Championships were the biggest thing. And the Stanley Cup sort of had to grow on you a little bit, I think, before it became that important. I think the same thing happened in Tampa. Same great team. They kept them together, and eventually that team grew together to win the Stanley Cup, but they had to win it by losing first. So we were close. I thought we were close in Anaheim. We were in the conference finals and had a 3-2 lead on Chicago going into game 6. We had a 3-2 lead, and the 2 games we lost were in double and triple overtime. So, I thought we should have won it in 4, but we didn't. And the one great thing about Chicago with Kane and Taves and Keith and Crawford, they had championship blood in them, and they knew how to play with their backs against the wall. And we still had a young team in Anaheim. We had 2 guys, I think, Perry and Getzlaff, for the holdovers of winning the cup, but they were rookies in their year too, and they hadn't won it since. So this was so I thought that was a situation in Anaheim where we could have won the cup. The 2 previous years we'd lost in game 7s to LA, and they won the cup both years. So haven't done it, but pretty close to doing it, I think. But that only counts in horseshoes, I guess. So.